Okay, guys. This story is submitted by a chap that is telling us about his first time in Thailand, and that he gets friendly with a bar girl, but she's a bit too much for him. So, yeah, let's jump into this story. I want to share a little experience I had with a bar girl on my very first trip to the Land of Smiles. Besides this experience, I completely fell in love with the country, the food, the way they live out there, and of course, the beautiful women. I love their outlook on life compared to the Western world. I can see why people, especially single middle-aged men, can get trapped by Thailand and do everything and anything they can to live there. Before visiting, I tried to do my homework by watching travel bloggers figuring out places I would like to visit and explore, learning the do's and don'ts of the country, and watching some videos about the nightlife in Thailand. I found a lot of interesting things online, but what kept coming up was the Thailand nightlife, especially in places like Phuket, Bangkok, and of course, Pattaya. Although it looked really interesting and tempting, my plan to go to Thailand wasn't because of the nightlife entertainment, though I wasn't against trying out anyway. Within 24 hours of me being in Thailand, I find myself in a bar already falling in love with the nightlife. My whole plans about wanting to explore went out the window, and I was just diving into the nightlife and the bar scene. I did not have much knowledge about how it works inside bars with these girls. I was a complete newbie to the bar scene here. That being said, I was completely blown away. So many girls giving you attention. It's a single man's dream. I think it's safe to say that looks don't matter to these girls. Every bar we walked past, there were girls shouting, "Welcome, handsome man." Even some girls will try and pull you into their bar. It was wild. One night, me and my friends went to this bar, and I found myself chatting with a girl inside. She was very friendly and very flirty. She seemed to take a shine to me for some reason, although it's probably part of their job. My friends told me she was a working girl, but in my head, I thought she was just a girl who works in the bar to try and get customers in the bar and keep them there. She seemed way too sweet and innocent to be a bar girl or a girl on the game. Now I don't want to brag, but I've been told I'm quite handsome. I am in my 20s, and I try to keep healthy and fit qualities that I've learned Thai girls seem to like. I have decent money, but I'm not rich by any means, and I don't plan on getting attached and being an ATM savior for one of these girls. That first night, meeting her, and after a few drinks, she came back to my hotel. I didn't pay, and she never asked me for any money. Really, the only money she got from me was for the lady drinks in the bar on the first night. She did tell me that she does not normally go with customers from the bar. This made me think that she really wasn't a working girl. And maybe she was actually into me after this whole experience. I learned that a lot of these girls were sorry. I don't go with customers to make you feel sorry for them. I think that they are a decent girl. Also, if a girl comes with you for free, they might be playing something called the long game, which I had no idea about at the time. A few nights being with her, she told me that her friends called me a butterfly. Now, I had no idea what this meant. At first, I thought it was a compliment. So I replied, "Thank you." She then told me, "No, it means you have many girls in different bars." And I replied, "Well, I am on holiday. I'm going to have fun." Her face changed a little when I said that, as if she was disappointed or jealous. But the truth is, I didn't have many girls. And when you walk into a bar, you are instantly surrounded by girls, so it's pretty hard not to be a butterfly. Anyway, one day I was chilling in my hotel room, hungover and listening to music, just having a day off. Sometimes rest days are needed in Thailand, especially after you've been going out hard for the past few nights. So I was lying there in a world of my own. I hear a knock at the door, and when I open it, I find her stood there. I'm guessing it's to see if I was alone or if you or someone else was with me. I don't really know, but I found it very weird that she would show up unannounced, like if she had good intentions. Then she would have texted me or let me know she was coming over or at least asked. I did not want to invite her in because I didn't want her to get the idea that she could come over whenever she wanted and I'd let her in. So I suggested that we go out and get something to eat as I was starving. Anyway, she seemed okay with that. So without letting her in and keeping her stood at the door, I got my stuff and we headed out. We had dinner close by to the hotel, but because I left in a little bit of a hurry, I forgot my wallet and told her I'll be back. I just need to go and fetch some money. To my surprise, she said that she wanted to pay as I had paid for everything. Up until then, this led me to think even more that she was just a normal girl. But it also led me to think that maybe she has some plan here. Why would she be offering to pay when her job is literally to get as much money from tourists as she possibly can? We did go for a couple of beers after dinner, even though I was hungover. I'm not in the mood for it. Her English wasn't the best, and my Thai was terrible. So boredom quickly kicked in. I told her that I needed to go and sleep and I'll see her some other time. I went home and turned my phone off, hoping that I'm not going to get another surprise visit from her. Hopefully, she got the hint that I wanted to be alone. So more nights on the session, going to different bars, chatting with different girls and having fun. Now I found a new bar that I like to go to with a lot of girls, all very flirty and fun to be around. I made it a habit to go to this bar and got friendly over the past few nights with this certain cutie that worked there. She told me straight that she was a bar girl and a freelancer. There was no beating around the bush with this one, so I knew I had to pay this time, which was fine for me because she was a stunner. I liked the bar, so I wanted to find her when the time was right so it wouldn't be awkward for me to keep going back to the bar after a one night. The girl from the first bar unexpectedly showed up at the new bar while I was getting friendly with the new girl. I was a bit taken aback. It felt like I was in a relationship and I had just been caught cheating. I thought it was just a coincidence, but when it happened 3 more times, it was pretty obvious that she was following me or had tabs on me somehow. Maybe by other friends of hers that work in the bars. I thought this was a bit weird. I'm thinking I may have got myself into a bit of a stalker situation. I'm on holiday to have fun. I don't want to be followed around by some weird bar girl. The 4th time she decided to show up unannounced and uninvited, I was sat with a new girl and I told her straight that I have a new female friend and politely asked her to not follow me around anymore as it's concerning and I'm on holiday to have fun, not be tied down. As I was respectable and nice about it, I thought she would do the same and understand, and I couldn't have been more wrong. She went crazy at me in front of everyone, making me feel stupid. She dragged me out of the bar, and I followed just so we wouldn't be around everyone while she's kicking off. She was refusing to let me go back in the bar with the new girl. I managed to get back into the bar after breaking free from the crazy girl, and this was getting a bit out of hand. Back in the bar I found the new girl and asked her if she wanted to call it an early night and head back to my hotel. I thought that it would be the best bet taking the new girl away from the crazy girl. So me and the new girl headed out of the bar with the intentions of carrying on the night back at my place with a few drinks and you know the rest. When we got outside there she was again. The stalking crazy girl just stood there staring at me. I just want to be clear here. Even though I was incredibly frustrated with this crazy girl, I was polite and being nice with how I was explaining what I wanted and what I didn't want. She came over and started speaking to my new girl in Thai. Obviously, I had no idea what they were saying, so I was bracing myself for anything dangerous to come my way. My mood was wearing off and I was back to thinking with my big head and not my little head. I saw a taxi, caught it and jumped into it, thinking I would go home alone. I can always come back another night, but before I even had time to tell the taxi where to go, the crazy girl and the new girl both jumped in the taxi, both on either side of me. So here I was in a taxi with a girl who apparently had feelings for me so much she would stalk me, and another who was there to make a bit of money. This night really did take a strange turn. Welcome to Thailand. On the way to the hotel, the two girls were talking in Thai, and the new girl was telling me that the stalker really loves me and classes me as her boyfriend. I told them both that this was too much and I wasn't interested in continuing the night. I just wanted to go back to my hotel and relax after this encounter in the past hour. My mood has come from wanting some bedroom for night to wanting to sleep all night alone. Finally, we got back to my hotel when the driver turned around for me to pay him. He had a huge grin on his face. He clearly found the whole situation quite amusing, and to be honest, I can't blame him. I was heading towards my room and I thought I made it clear to them that I wasn't interested in continuing the night, but they kept following me while chatting to each other. We got to the door and the crazy girl states that I can't have them both, which is fine for me. It never even crossed my mind. But when she said this, the new girl stormed off in a fit. I was quite disappointed that she left, because out of the two of them I'd prefer to have spent my night with her. Oh, well, one down, one to go. My friend who was in the room next to me could hear the commotion and came to check if everything was okay. The crazy girl complained to him about me being a butterfly and going with other girls. My friend politely told her to go home. She turned at me. So some words in Thai. Even though I don't understand Thai, I could clearly notice that there wasn't the nicest of words. Then called me a butterfly and stormed off as well. Finally, I am alone. What a night it's been. I thought to myself as I walked in the room. I've never been so happy to be home alone in my life. I got into bed, put some music on and laughed about it, though the thought of the new girl put me back in the mood. However, I was too tired now to act on it and find someone new. So I tried to get some sleep. About an hour later, I was still lying there listening to music and thinking about what a wild trip I've had so far. I heard someone knocking on the door. I shouted, "Hello?" And I heard a girl calling my name. I thought, great, the stalker is back. But in the back of my mind, I thought, well, at least I can get lucky, even if it's not with the girl I planned on. So I took a deep breath, walked over to the door, and got myself ready to give her a piece of my mind about tonight's actions and prepare for whatever follows. I opened the door, and to my surprise and absolute pleasure, it was the new girl. She had come back for some reason. She told me that she thought that I wouldn't have gone in with the crazy girl. So she came back. My night went from great to bad to great again. And now it was time to have some fun with the girl I wanted in the first place. The next morning we had some fun, and I gave her 1,000 baht. Even though she didn't ask for it. But she seemed okay with that amount. I thought she would have left after I gave her the money, but she seemed to stick around. I kind of wanted some relaxing, alone time, so I told her that the crazy lady might come back and I don't want no trouble. So it's best if she leaves and I'll coming here again sometime. And that was it. She left and I never saw her again. The events that happened that night made me think about the behavior of Thai women while Thai bar girls during my time in Thailand. After that, I spent some time with more bar girls, and although I did spend money on lady drinks for them, they all spent the night with me without any money being exchanged, while they were all girls from the bar. They seemed to come with me because they were interested in me. On my final night of my trip, I spent pretty much the whole day at a bar on Khao San Road with a superstar freelancer that I had been speaking to online for a couple of days. She told me she was really into me and only went with customers who she is not attracted to. I kind of believed her that she had feelings for me because she was sad to see me leave. She even came to me at the airport and started crying when I was going to leave her, saying, "I don't want you to go. Promise me you will come back." I was left wondering, is this genuine? Maybe what they told me is true. Or maybe I was just falling for how these girls work. And the money will be coming later. They were just playing the long game or something. I don't know. What I do know is that I hardly ever paid for fun. I mean, I was always willing to pay, but it was them that never asked me. Thanks for reading and thanks for listening to my story.